everybody. I'm an addict. My name's Derek. Just want to thank everybody for coming this year. Hope you've enjoyed it as much as I have. Let's open this meeting with a moment of silence, followed by the Wee version of the Serenity Prayer. God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference, just for today. Well, if anybody's new to Reflections, just kind of follow the leader, so to speak. This is the saying goodbye portion of our convention. And it's an open microphone for anybody to come up and share what they got out of Camp Mac this year, or just any little nugget or tidbit that you want to share. So this is your time for the next almost 2 hours to just share what Camp Mac is or means to you, or maybe an epiphany you might have had this weekend, or any of that sort of thing. So come on up and share.
Hi, family. My name is Robert, and I'm an addict. Awesome weekend. Awesome. First of all, let me thank the committee. Thank the committee for an outstanding job. You know, a lot of times I take for granted coming up here, and all the things are put together, and I'd be forgetting that somebody had to do this work, and it takes a lot of work. And a lot of times I don't see it, but I just like people to know that I appreciate what you do and setting this up for us. Like I say, it was an awesome weekend. Every year I come up here, I've been coming up here for about 10, 11 years, and every time we have Reflections, I say the same thing. I hate to go back to the madness and confusion, away from this peace. But nothing's changed. I still hate to go back. I hate this day here. It's just the peace and the quiet and the faces. The people that I see on a regular basis, I really look forward to coming through those gates when we get here, knowing I'm going to see people that I just need to see, and like I say, it's just so peaceful. And, the good part is I'm full. I get full, and it lasts me till I get back. Bottom line, I like to thank the people that came up with me. We always have an awesome time just sitting around, kicking it and reminiscing and just fellowshipping. That's all. I think the biggest part for me about this is just some peace, some quiet, getting away, the camaraderie, the whole nine. It's just, this is my favorite convention. I like conventions. I like going out of town. But this is something special that I'll never forget. Thank goodness for the person in my life, that introduced me to this. Thank you. So, just a little sad, to leave, but I had a beautiful weekend. Excellent weather. I've been coming up here for, like I say, 10, 11 years, but this one here, as far as weather's concerned, excellent. No bugs biting me. And all that good stuff. So that's all I got. Thanks.
Hi, I'm Loretta, and I'm an addict. I am just truly, truly grateful to be here. I wasn't sure if I would be here this year because I was so sick when I was here last year. And 2 days before I came last year, I was diagnosed with cancer. And my kids kept asking me, you still going? You still going? Yes, I'm going. And I am so grateful that I could come here. I'm like you, Robert. I get filled when I'm here with the peace and with the love. And it lasts me till about a week before next year. And then it starts depleting. Then I know I have to make it back here. Everybody in my family know don't plan nothing with me Memorial Weekend because I'm not going to be there. I'm going to be here. This is like, it's strange, but in a way it's like coming home. And that's what I said when we seen the sign. I was like, okay, I'm home. You know, I want to thank the committee too. Thank y'all for choosing this place. It is awesome. And that it means so much and so many different things to so many of us. But the one thing we all have in common is love. And you feel that when you're walking through here, when you see people, when you're speaking to them, you can just reach out and just get a hug. You know, you're in a place where everybody understands who you are already. You don't even have to explain. You know, and there's nothing like Camp Mac. I don't get to go out of town. This is my only time for going out of town. It's the only place I go. And I'm okay with that. I really am. I think I've only missed coming here one time. And trust me, I thought about y'all the whole weekend. And I said the next year, I'm not missing. And if God willing, I will be here next year. And I love all of you. And I will see y'all next year. Thank you.
Hello, family. My name is Johnny, and I'm an addict. I'm grateful to be here too. You know, been coming here. This is my second time coming, but I missed last year and year before last. And you know, it seemed that when they asked me to come, them 2 years, I wanted to come, but I couldn't come. But this year, I made up in my mind. I said, I'm coming. No matter what. I was going to bring my significant other with me, but she got sick and she couldn't come. So I said, I'm going. You know, and it's just amazing when you get here at the peace and the calm and the activities and walking around and fishing. I love it when I get here, you know. I can go down to the water and sit down and fish. I can't do that in Detroit. I am grateful to be here. If Lord's willing, I'll try to come back next year. Thank you.
Hello, family. My name is Norman. I'm an addict. This is my second time at Camp Mac, and my first time when I come here was just such a true experience. To where it seems to I lack the words to actually describe exactly what I feel and what I get from Camp Mac. I can say that when I'm like Rob. I'm kind of sad in this moment because I know I'm finna go. Go back,
but I look forward to coming every year. I wasn't able to make it last year. I made it the year before, and I was just telling someone. I said, it's something here as far as the people. You meet it. You just meet people and you just hug them, and sometimes you can just go and sit next to them, and you can feel it. You don't have to say nothing. You can feel that fellowship. You can feel that love. That acceptance, that serenity, and it's just that feeling. I don't get that nowhere. I was telling them, I say, even the children. If you look at the children around here, the children, after they got some sense, you go to the city, they walk in the middle of the street and look at you like, there's something wrong with you because you driving the street like we should be on the sidewalk. But it's a great feeling. I fish, eat, just sit down, walk, go to the workshops. It's a lovely place where people just come and meet, and I just lack the words to describe exactly what I'm feeling. What I'm saying is just really an understatement of what I actually feel. But if you've experienced it, you know what I'm trying to say. Thank you.
Hello, family. My name is Phil. I'm an addict. This is my second year at Camp Mac. I look forward to it. It's a great experience for me also. Just being here just takes me back to when I was a child. Being in the Boy Scouts, going to camp. And this is what it reminds me of, it's awesome. It's truly awesome. Coming from the storm and then being reminded of how it used to be when I was a young boy. It's just an experience I just could never forget. I'm just grateful that I was able to experience this and have some memories with this experience. Today I'm just glad to be on this side of the fence. I had this, when they say it's, when they talk about planning a trip, like maybe in February, I'm just like a kid in the candy store. I can't wait to get here. Just the peace. See, in Detroit, all we hear is gunshots, police cars, and ambulance. And just to get away from that, man, it's awesome. It's truly awesome. I just want to keep coming back. Like my sponsorship guys say, when it's time to go, I really don't want to leave because I know what I got to go back to. But the reality of it is that we have to go back. But this, convention is one of my favorites also, because it's just the peace of mind that you have when you get here and the love that you get from the people. It's just awesome. You don't get no bad vibes from anyone. It's just like they said, we grow with love, and that's what's going on here. The hugs and the smiles, you know that it's coming from the heart. It's awesome, y'all, and I'm glad to be a part of. Thank you.
Shannon Maddock. Hi, family. Norm and everybody's talking about they weren't here last year, and Maria and them weren't here last year, and I wasn't here last year. So some addicts called my phone, told me why I wasn't here. I told them I had no money, and they paid for me to come down for one night, and nobody ever missed me enough to come pay for me to come stay a night. They usually are happy I wasn't there. But I haven't seen you guys in a couple of years, and it feels like we just saw each other last weekend. And that's why this is family, you know what I mean? I get more sincere hugs here than I get in any meetings I go to. They're not here, they're not judging me, they're not. And really, people here know my history more than people in meetings that I go to on a regular basis. So really, you guys should be judging me more than the... Never mind. I just... Even addicts I have issues with, on this weekend, I try not to have no issues with. This is where I can get my healing, and I can deal with stuff that I haven't dealt with. If I'm having a trying year, I come here and dump it and get refilled and see how everybody had made it through the year clean and what trials and stuff they had. And Miss Loretta, we used to dance underneath the tree on Monday after we leave here. Robert get his pull his truck up, turn on the boom booms, and we'd be out here dancing under the tree. Because I refused to leave, and I'd be the last one to leave, and I think that the committee was the last to leave, but I was trying to be last. And now we just dance down by the water and at the picnic. And I live for coming here for that weekend and just to go, you know. So they always say bring somebody with you, and I try and bring people with me, but you know, you can't explain what happens here to anybody. You know, you see people, tell them about it. I'm not going there, the bugs or this and that. Nobody wants to come. More people come from other areas than our own area to come here. I don't get it. So, we wouldn't be here without people coming from other places. I don't know. Me and Attic were sharing about how long we've been coming here, and you forget how many years have gone by that we come. You're watching kids grow up. You've watched people change. I think my first daughter was like 5 or 6. I know I wasn't at the first one, but I couldn't tell you when it was. I know I've watched people get married and divorced and remarried, and I don't know. But I'm still here, and thanks to anybody who's ever helped me watch Carly this weekend. So, thank you.
And thanks, Shannon. Glad you're here.
My name is Jonathan Maddock. I don't know exactly what I'm going to say up here today, but I was looking through my closet of T-shirts because I have a whole closet that's just NA T-shirts, and didn't plan it that way, but that's the way it ended up. And I was looking through to see what I needed to pack for this weekend, and I came across We Grow with Love 9. So I've been here since the 9th convention. In 2005, I guess God had a different plan for me, and I ended up having a heart attack that week. So I sent a friend of mine, a sponsee of mine, to take my place. And he brought back a wonderful, wonderful shirt that was signed by everybody who was here. So I know that everybody missed me, and I feel so at home here too. I really feel, even more so than the fellowship or within individual home groups, that this is my home. I get here as soon as I can without being a complete fool about it, and I leave, when everybody else is gone and the parking lot's empty. I just absolutely love this place. This gives me strength to go on for the entire year. I do feel that my spirituality is renewed when I'm here. I love the diversity, and my people are well represented this year. So I'm really proud of that. But I love the diversity that's here. I love the camaraderie and just the fact that there's people who know me and I only know them from here, and they can remember my name from year to year. I sometimes have a little problem with trying to remember names from year to year, but I'm getting better at it, making more of an effort at it. I don't know what to say except this is so important to me. This is my favorite convention that I've ever been to in all my years in NA. I feel comfortable here. This is so much better than a hotel convention or a motel convention, and it's much better than, for me, it's much better than just camping out, because I'm not into that whole rustic thing, so much anymore. I like to have a bathroom, kind of like in the building I'm in. That'll work for me. So, but it's really the people who are here, and as they say, we grow with love, and I just don't know what I'd do if I came here and didn't see Maria and Robert and Derek and just all the other people who are here. I really do appreciate it, and Mark, and I want to thank you all for helping make this again a wonderful experience for me. Thank you.
Hello, family. My name is Matt. I'm an addict, recovering addict, and I first came here I think in '98. I made it 4 years coming here, and I quit doing what I needed to do, and we know where that ends up. And I got 11 months Saturday, and what brought me back to this program, it says in our basic text that NA can do without me, but I can't do without NA, and I went to get my cholesterol checked back in 2010 and found out I had Hep C and cirrhosis, and bottom line period is I need a new liver, and that's why I came back to this program, because I knew I needed help and I needed love and the people in here. And thank you. Living the spiritual principles, acceptance, surrender. And last few months I've had so many awakenings, and I've come to terms with, my illness, and I know all I can do is the footwork, try to do what the doctor says, eat right, sleep right, and, take care of my body. I'm on 15 medications that I have to take, and none of them get you high. and it's pretty ironic. But it keeps me alive long enough to, I'm going to be starting treatment here shortly, and talking about letting go and letting God. And the last couple months I've had such a peace. I know everything's going to be okay. And I've got to get a relationship with my children back. And it's all due to living these principles in Narcotics Anonymous. This is my home. And I am partial to this place, but I'm a little more partial to last week's camp out. I found a home camp out because that was my first NA function I ever went to. Sitting in Kokomo, 30 minutes debating whether or not to drive 2 hours to go home because I was the only one from my area, or drive 20 minutes. And God took me that 20 minutes. And that's where I found a home. And I'm grateful I made it back.
Thank you.
Matt named Mark. Oh, today's my clean time birthday. "12 years for the second time. And I want to know where's my cake." They didn't even wait on me. I picked this was for the auction, and I picked this up a while back at another auction, and I left it in my van and forgot to put it in the auction. And I think right now it'd be appropriate if I just gave it to Matt. My first time coming here was in the spring of 1992, a year before the first one. And the feeling that I get when I come here today is the same feeling that I got that year, the first time I ever seen this camp. We were meant to be here. I feel that was God working in my life, the God of my understanding. I'm grateful to be here again. And really grateful for those of you that show up every year. If it wasn't for basically for the Detroit crowd in the South Shore area, there wouldn't be very many damn people here. Our area certainly doesn't support it, and I guess those that are supposed to be here are here. This is, You know, and I have to give praise to the Michiana area because there's more people on the committee from that area than there are from the area that this convention supposedly belongs to. And they started an annual cleanup day down here to come down and help the camp clean up in the spring. Well, I had to work that day. Nobody from North Central area showed up. They were all from Michiana area. You know, to me, there's something wrong with that picture, but I'm powerless over it. It is what it is, and it's great. This is you know, this may have started out in North Central Indiana, but this is ours. You know, each and every one of us. We together make this happen. You know, I've had this conversation with many people this last week. If the committee decided at the last minute we was all going to go to the islands this weekend and none of us showed up, this would still happen because you people have been coming here long enough, you would just get up here and do it. And not a doubt in my mind. Because we take care of what's ours. And this is yours. I have to disagree with you, Robert, about the weather. I think it's a little bit too hot. It's nice for people that like it hot, though. Seen many old faces, met some new faces, same as every year. I don't know. I think that's all I got. You know, I'm glad I made it here another year. Every day I wake up sucking air, I'm grateful. And I'd like to. I'd like for everybody when they go home to put Gene in your prayers. Still really don't know what happened. But Gene was missed by many, and hopefully we see him here next year. That's all I got.
Hi, I'm an addict named Becky. Hi. Grateful to be here. I have a lot of gratitude for the committee that puts this together, for my higher power. I don't think this is my favorite place in the world, and I've been a few places. I start to get emotional on my way down, and when I see the Camp Max sign, like what other people have said, I feel like I'm home. I feel like I belong. I've learned some things over the years. I've learned to bring earplugs if I want a good night's sleep. It allows me the opportunity to practice tolerance when I go to bed before everyone else. But just the atmosphere of recovery and all the hugs and just the feeling that I get when I get out of my car and I start setting up my tent and I see people who maybe I don't know their names, like Shannon, I know your name now, but like when I see you and I'm like, oh good, you know, they're still here, like they're still with us, because there's people who aren't, you know, and to hear like about, you know, people from other places and some of the things that I take for granted, you know, I learn a lot coming here. I've learned how to have fun in recovery, because that's one of the things that I didn't think I'd ever have. I never thought I'd have fun again. I just thought I'd be boring and I'd be miserable, and depressed all the time, and I made new friends, and I got to go kayaking with people, and played volleyball and swam, and I know I'll feel it all tomorrow, and I'll probably be walking around like an 80-year-old lady. My back will be out, and sunburnt and everything, but it's just a great place. My favorite thing is, I know I'm supposed to say like the workshops and everything, but it's a program of honesty. So my favorite thing is listening to the guys play guitar by the fire and singing and hearing people laugh, and the hugs, the food, watching people's kids grow up. One of the things I was thinking the other night was, there's a fire pit over on this side, and a group of people playing, and people my age, I don't want to say older, but, like 40-ish or whatever. And then I walked over to this side, and there was some younger guys playing, and I thought, this is it's like another generation. And that I'm a crier anyway, but I just kind of got emotional about it, that there will be people here after we're gone, hopefully, carrying on, carrying the message. And that's a pretty powerful thing. I can't do this alone. I've tried to do it alone, but I don't have to. That's pretty awesome. This is my favorite place. I'm grateful I have a place to come. And what I was thinking about with We Grow with Love, like, I love myself enough to come here. I love myself enough to put that money aside, and even though, I take the whole day, I take Friday off work, and it's an event, This is what I do for myself. This is what I do for my recovery. And it does fill me up spiritually. Maybe not all year, I'm not going to lie, long, cold winters, at least 6 months. and then after that 6 months, I'm like, okay, another 6 months, and I go to Camp Mac, and I start emailing people, from like the South Shore. I'm like, I get to see you in 6 months. Like, I start the countdown to Camp Mac, And I don't ever worry about, well, who's the main speaker or whatever. I know I'm going to hear the message. I know. I'm open-minded. I'm willing. And it's cool when you're walking around and you hear different snippets of conversations, and you hear words like fear, and you hear words like gratitude, and you hear words like sponsor, and you don't hear that out there. You don't hear people talking about stuff like that, and it just lets me know that I'm home. So it also reminds me, keep writing, because I want to continue on the process, and keep doing what I know to do if I want to keep what I have. And also it allows me the opportunity to give it away. So grateful, really, really grateful. Thanks.
Addict named JJ. My gratitude speaks. And so does yours. I felt welcome the moment that I stepped foot in here. People came up and hugged me. Some people didn't know me. I look for that person that I know. I see him across the room, and that's the one I want to go hug right away because I want to feel comfortable. But then you get interrupted by other people. Hi, who are you? Welcome, welcome. And I've been to a lot of campventions, and I had said this to a couple people. This one is special because there's an automatic sense of community when you show up. And this kind of closing is unusual to me. And usually people are just packing up and leaving. And I get teary-eyed because I make connections with people. So, and yeah, you don't want to leave. And if I'm spiritually full, I'm able to have emotion if I'm spiritually full. And so I have a good gauge when I walk up here and start okay, you don't need to, you can, but you don't need to. I have to emphasize, the only reason I know about this is because I've been involved in service in Narcotics Anonymous and able to meet people from all over the country and make connections that make things like this possible. Here I have another family reunion. Another part of my family where my aunts and uncles, I won't say any grandparents here, but my aunts and uncles, brothers and sisters, cousins, nephews, nieces, maybe even some grandchildren. I met a phenomenal group of young people here on Saturday night, and we were actually doing step study at 2:30 in the morning with this group of young people. You know, these few young people, and I've met them, and that you were talking about the next generation, and that's who we. That's why we keep what we have by giving it away. So I'm gonna fly high like a kite on my way home. I have a few more days off. I'm gonna go visit some more NA people, and I'm gonna go visit Gene because I'm headed for Oshkosh right after I leave here. So I'll go find where he's at and let somebody know what's going on. I have other friends up there, and that was my plan, was to go to Green Bay, so Oshkosh is right on the way. I have known Gene entire 22 years I've been clean. He was one of those predecessors, or is one of those predecessors, who helped carry the message and helped raise me up in Narcotics Anonymous. And I'm so grateful for the Wisconsin Fellowship and the Midwest Zona Forum, because I got to expand my horizons in Narcotics Anonymous and have little family reunions all over the world. We have family everywhere we go. Everywhere we go. You can't go to the ends of the earth without being able to connect with another addict in Narcotics Anonymous. And this is just one more example. It's beautiful here. Thank you very much.
I'm an addict named Robert, and I'm also glad to be here. So many things been said. I guess I usually wait until I hear a few things that make a lot of sense. And a lot of sense to me is that, you know what, I'm not getting any younger, I'm getting older. And I'm glad I found Camp Mac when I did, because it just added, I was telling some of the guys, it just has added in the years gone by something for me to look forward to also. And I've had more laughs, I guess, this year than I've ever had. And each year we try to always, and thank you again for reminding us that y'all appreciate Detroit coming up here. Because sometimes I suffer with the disease of addiction that tell me that don't nobody care. They don't love us like that, and but the truth is, we know different. And when we come up here and gather up our experience and take it back to Detroit, a lot of times we have to share it amongst one another, because other people don't be so impressed in going anywhere, and I'm sure somebody else in here can identify with that. So every time we come, the Grow with Love piece always have meant to me is that bring somebody that you can share this experience with, because along the way, sometimes life will put pressure on you. And you have to, I believe recovery is about building on memories. And that's what we do up here. We got fish stories to take back. We got raccoon stories to take back. There's a whole lot of shit to take back, man. Got a chance to celebrate with one of my sponsees. I never thought I would have this opportunity to say that somebody gave me life at my first year to become a sponsor to somebody that ended up having 20 years with me on this journey. I didn't expect that when I got in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. But I learned so much by coming up here, man. We just got through leaving the chapel a while ago, two of my sponsees, and they remind me today of things that they asked me to do. They say, Robert, he asked me yesterday about going to the chapel this morning. I had forgot about it. And he was like, you ready to go do that? And I said, yeah, I'm ready to go do it. And I felt just like a little kid when he asked me that, because it's like now the tables have turned. I'm giving them the opportunity to help me grow up in a new way. I don't have to be so demanding about what I want no more. Now I got some guys I want to see grow up too. You know what I'm saying? So they can have sponsees and they can continue. And someday soon, maybe one day they'll be able to bring a sponsee along with them. I think this is the way the thing go. You know, I want to thank Connie for putting up with me, and you know, because I ain't the easiest guy to put up with. You know what I'm saying? You know, I had some health challenges last year that was very serious. I didn't even know if I was going to have a leg to walk on last year. And like for 4 or 5 months, I couldn't hardly get around. I was on scooters and wheelchairs and everything. And you know, God made a way for all that to heal and for me to get through that and be able to get back on my feet again and go back to work again. By the way, Connie just graduated from college, y'all. Let's give her a round of applause. We had a big bash out at her house, and that went well. And so when we got here, we was broke as hell, but we managed to make it anyway. You know what I'm saying? So I want to thank my sponsees, and most importantly, you know, the godfather of the group, which is my sponsor, Robert, right there. Some of y'all don't know him. If you haven't met him, he's a good guy to know. And hopefully, if it's through the grace of God, that we'll see some faces next year and we'll be back. Thank you.
Hey y'all, my name's Adam. I'm an addict. You know, this is my first NA convention, if that's what you want to call it. You know, and I've been around the program mostly off, but a few times on to get other people off my back for 21 years, as long as I've been in active addiction. But this is the first time I tried recovery. And I don't know. I'm thinking. I almost went to ISNAC, and I'm thinking the next convention I go to, I set the bar too high with this being my first one, because I don't think anything can compare. If I could sum this up in one word, I guess it would be escape. I was just thinking about it, And in active addiction, that's a big reason why I used to escape reality. And then I came here and was just so welcome. It was all spur of the moment for me to come, and so welcome. And I forgot about work finally. I forgot about, all these things, bills, people, and I just got to escape. And I actually got to ride on my 4-stepper, made the time a little bit, over the weekend, and met new people, got chased by swans on kayaks, all kinds of stuff that other people aren't going to understand, like was said, all these little special moments, and other people aren't going to understand that. And even though this program's free to anybody, I feel very blessed and fortunate that I'm a member of an exclusive group of people that actually do, try this program and everything. I'm forever grateful for those of you who put it on and welcome me, and forever grateful to all of you. Thank you. I'll keep coming back.
I'm an addict seeking recovery. My name's Philip W. Real grateful for this. Well, don't leave, Robert. I got some resentments. I'm bringing some resentments with your ass. Shit. I'm like, he ain't mentioned me. I'm his friend and stuff. He ain't said nothing about me and my wife being up here, but I guess it's just a sponsorship shit thing. It's not a real resentment, but it's a resentment, Robert. Camp Mac, plays a real significant part of my recovery. Starting 5 years ago when I first came here. I had 17 years clean when I first came here. And Robert had been trying to get me to come to Camp Mac for a lot of years. He'd always say, man, let's this place up in Indiana. Let's go up there, man, and you'll love it. And I said, I'm coming. But, it took what it took for me to get here, for me to be here. And it wasn't a trip that I would like to have taken in the content that I took it, but I'm grateful that I did for the serenity that came along with it. I didn't really know what to expect when I first came to Camp Mac, but Robert had tried to prepare me. But this ain't something you can prepare somebody for. You have to just come and live this experience to know what it means. And when it talks about we grow with love, for me, love is certainly it never fails. And the love that comes with being here, this is an awesome place, man. My wife and I just come from down there, relaxing a little bit down by the water. And we was talking about how warm it was in the room last night, but the breeze this morning just took care of all of that. It was such a beautiful breeze, man. I'm talking about, I'm like, this is God just cooling it off. I love this recovery way of life. I don't want to ever give this up. Meeting people that are again, as I got here, I've started remembering faces. Derek spent a lot of time with me when I was going through it, because my sponsor at the time had made his transition. It was only a few days that we had put him to rest before we came to Camp Mac. And, a sad thing, my wife at the time when I got back, she made her transition 4 months after my sponsor. And that was a real difficult time for me. God has given me what he needed me to have, man. This is my story, and I'm just reflecting. The reflection is that I'm here, and I'm Robert talking about getting older, and why he have to mention that, because, certainly is getting older, but doing it with grace, though. Right. It's okay to be getting older today. I don't do a lot of things that I did, and I cannot do a lot of things that I did when I was younger, and that's good too. It's good to know that you can slow down and be all right with slowing down coming into this process. Again, Narcotics Anonymous is a program that I don't ever want to give up. I want to thank JJ for his message of hope, Brian for his, John T, the young lady last night that shared hers. I got a lot of stuff that I can take back with me and still be at peace, even though, in closing, our city is full of chaos. Our city is full of chaos. But I got enough love and enough peace with me to take some back and watch it work in our city. So I'm real grateful for Camp Mac, and I'm going to keep coming back, y'all, and I'm going to come back clean. Thanks for letting me share.
Hey everybody, I'm Jimmy. I'm an addict, and first, I don't know, just big thanks to the Church of the Brethren and the Camp Mac staff that help us make this all possible in North Central, and the Michiana people that just allow me to experience this this gift every year. It's something that we get to do every year, and I'm really blessed to be able to drive through that arched gateway every year knowing that just about every person in there is on a path to something better than what they were doing, you know, and you know, the real world, your outside world, work, life, school, and the community, you know, there's a lot of good people out there, but it's like, not all of them are on our path, you know, but for this couple 100 acres and this couple, you know, a dozen hours, we get to be together and just get a little boost along that path, you know, like the old Hot Wheels car when it goes through a little thing and it just like, you know, and that's, I don't know. Yeah, and when I drive out the gate, you know, I in a convoy, hopefully a convoy of other grateful recovering addicts, and I'm just hoping we're all back here next year. Some of us might not be, and that's sad. But you know, this is where I want to be. This is my, you know, Super Bowl, Indy 500, the Oscars, you know, World Series, whatever. Every like crowd has their thing they look forward to every year, and for me, this is it. You know, this is like graduation day and coronation and the parade and the, you know, and for me, this is my holidays. You know, yeah, and you know, I hope to see y'all next year. And I, good Lord willing, will be here next year. Thank you.
I'm an addict. My name's Derek. Hey, Derek. You believe we got a whole nother hour of this yet? Isn't it great? The longer we can prolong this event, you know, it just... And the sad part of it is when that hour's up and we all, you know, circle up and hug and say goodbye to each other, then there's, you know, a few of us that got to stick around and make sure that the cabins are all clean and swept and no trash left in them and stuff like that. So if you haven't done that, you know, I just encourage you to do your part, you know, before you leave. But that's not what I came up here to talk about. How about that Friday night workshop? That was the highlight for me this year. You know, Johnny shared a little bit about his experiences over the years that he's been coming, and I had an addict come up to me after we closed that meeting up, because traditionally our workshops are an hour and 15 minutes long, so that's when I closed it up. And then somebody says, "Man, you could have let that go for another 3 hours." You know, and thinking back, maybe I wish I would have, because what else were we going to do anyway, right? So it's something to think about next year, but this is, I don't know, maybe the 6th time or so that I've been programming chair for this convention, and that's what I love to do. God has blessed me with the ability to do some extensive travel in this fellowship and meet people like JJ and Gene. I met Gene when I was 2 years clean. That was 15 years ago, and he's always been, you know, one of those special parts of my life. And I know that he wasn't here physically, but he was right over there along that wall. And anybody that's been here, when he's been here, saw all of the stuff that wasn't there. It's like when you come through the entrance of this park, there's like this Dyson air machine that just sucks all the negative off of you. And then you get in here and it's just like, I'm at Camp Mac. You know, and every year when I'm here, it's like this event doesn't really get started until I see Robert and Robert show up, and Gene's setting up back there in the back, and of course that didn't happen this year, and then Mark and Debbie get here, you know, and there's just a few names and faces that, to me, that's what this convention is, you know, and then people that I haven't seen in a while, and it's once a year we get to see each other right here, you know, and that might be the only time we see each other, you know, from year to year is here. Well, what a great place to do it, you know. You know, again, programming is the thing that I enjoy doing the most for this convention, and if they give me another opportunity, I'll probably take it. If you didn't hear a workshop or a topic that you wanted to hear, or that you didn't like, or you didn't like the speakers or whatever, talk to a committee member. If you did like it, thank you. I do my best. I truly am humbled by what I get from here at Camp Mac. An addict asked me to do a guided meditation in the chapel, and that wasn't part of the program this year. And I was kind of hoping nobody would ask me to do it because I just really didn't feel like doing it. But I'm so grateful that I was given the opportunity to do it, because that's one of the things that makes this weekend what it is for me, and I know a handful of people that attended, was just that chance to go into that. If you've never been in the chapel, go just sit in there for 5 minutes and look out over the lake. It used to be the trees weren't all grown up and you could actually see the lake, but you know, the trees are starting to get matured a lot more, and it's hard to see the lake, but that chapel is just a real spiritual, serene place to just sit and reflect for a minute and know that God's presence is here. And the meditation that we did was about connecting that infinite journey from your heart to His hands. And you know, I think that you can find that out at the tree or the platform, or maybe anywhere but the bonfires late at night. But it's no matter what it is that you're looking for when you're here, whether it's spiritual food, whether it's ranch, whether it's just to hear the message, whether it's to see somebody you haven't seen in a year, break bread with people, whatever, it's here. You know, what we don't have is amusement rides and carnivals and you know, ways and means to rip each other off. You know, that's what's cool, is we can just come here and we can celebrate our recoveries. 20 years, Walter, congratulations, that is so great. 12 years, Mark. You know, there's things about life in general that I just wish were different, but I wouldn't change a thing. You know, and I hope that Camp Mac, regardless of, you know, whether those of us that have been doing this for so many years are still here doing it again next year or 10 years from now, that the spirit of this convention will always be what it is. We grow with love. Thanks.
Thanks to Regrow with Love for another year. I feel very blessed to be here. A lot of people really enjoyed themselves. My sponsor was up here with me this for another year, and it was really great. And I talked some recovery, and I listened to other people and how they're doing it. It's great to see some people that I only see once a year. And I had a really great time. I isolated a little bit, but I definitely got out and talked to some people and got in the water a little bit too, and got to be with some really good people. And this is my 6th time coming, and yeah, I really feel like I'm a part of this convention, and I'd like to be here again next year for another one. And if it's possible, maybe I'll be driving a car by then. I don't know, that'd be great too. I don't know. I kind of want to get on with my life and get some stuff going. That's what I've learned this weekend, that I can take this stuff and apply it in my real life and stay busy and do what I need to do to stay clean no matter what. That's all I got.
Thanks, Jeff.
I'm Colby. I'm an addict. So good to be here. Thanks to the convention committee for all their hard work. Really, I know this thing isn't automatic,
I've been fortunate to come here another year, and that's how I have to look at it. There's going to be a time probably when I'm not going to be able to come up here, and that's okay. I still want to come here and have all the benefits of being with you, but I want those without you. You guys drive me nuts. I have a hard time with people a lot of times here, but you're the ones who make it what it is too. I get the most joy and the most pain from you. It teaches me a lot about myself to come here and have to navigate my way through the fellowship to find all the joy, but I keep trying to get farther and farther away, and it's like I put my tent like farther and farther away, but it didn't do any good. People come, and found me, and my solution to this day continues to be I'm going to rent an RV and park it somewhere far away so that I can control when I get hugs, so I can be in control when I get contact with the fellowship, and it's silly, but that's what I think. Because I don't, I'm scared to death that you're not going to like me. That I'm only okay if you say I'm okay. And so you help me get through that. I got to come here and I got to participate. And I'm grateful to do it another year. It's been a great success, a lot of fond memories, and it's only because of the people. I mean, Camp Mac's great, and it's a beautiful environment. But if you weren't here, it wouldn't be the same. That's all I got.
I'm an addict. My name's Mark.
Hey, Mark.
This place, it really does change people. It changes lives. If your life hasn't changed yet, don't leave, because it will change. I have a friend that him and his lady started coming the last couple years, and his lady is like Debbie. They don't much move before the crack of noon. And this morning, as he was leaving, he said, "Hug Debbie for me. I know she's not up yet." I said, "Dude, she's up and rolling." He goes, "Wow, so is Kitty." I said, "This place changes lives, man." It really does. And I've heard it said from people that come up here, we look forward to this. This is my home group of conventions. I've missed Merkna a couple times. I've missed some other things that I really like doing a couple times. Other things that we have done over the years, for whatever reason, no longer happen. But this thing here, I heard Becky talking about the emails. Phone calls get left, voicemails come, and you start to think about those that we love to see. I was this morning, I walked by the old stone lodge, man, that burnt down, and a Bob Dylan line came to my head, and I started tearing up, because Dylan talks in that line about, "With half damp eyes I stared to the rooms where my friends and I
spent many an afternoon. We thought we could sit forever in fun, but our chances really was 1,000,000 to 1. And this past year, we've lost some friends. If you keep coming back and you don't use, and you start putting some clean time together, people die clean. And there are people that have touched us, man. Shouting those names out during that moment of silence. This is one of the only places that I ever do that. And I'm having these feelings, man, and it really pisses me off, because I'm a tough guy, and I remember, see, my desperation, I only had 2 feelings. Yahoo! I just copped. Shit, I'm almost out. Okay? I have this whole range of feelings today. And this past year, 3 of them that have been very prevalent in my life are fear, anger, and sadness. And because of my ability to listen, not maybe practice what I hear, but at least listen, I've been able to get through this year clean. Thank you. Thank you. Because I didn't get through this year clean. We did. We got me through this year clean. I was sharing about it a little earlier, when I go to work and the anger is so prevalent that all I do is shake. And I just try to practice all the principles. Look, man, I leave my house on a cloud of calm. I've meditated. I've done what you have taught me to do, but the minute I get into work, it all changed. And it was okay. It was because that change got me to another thing. I love Camp Mac. I love Camp Mac, and I love being here. The nature, my higher power. I live in the UP, man. Like, shit, we got to go 20 miles to the store. My home group's 20 miles from the house. Nature is really a part of my higher power, and just in the morning, laying there in the cabin and just hearing the birds, and that's all you hear. No traffic. That's some good stuff. And I'm just grateful to be here. And one of the things that I've heard and I continue to hear is our ideas of fun change. Thank God. Thank God they do. So if you're new here, please keep coming back and don't use. And if you're not new here, let's do it again next year, man. Thank you.
I'm an addict named Frankie. Can you hear me? Okay. There's this invisible force that wants to pull me out the doors. And it used to be my biggest problem were the drugs that I took that brought me here in the first place. But grateful. Thanks to this wonderful program, I've come to understand that the drugs aren't the problem today, but my problems are even bigger than that. A lot of the people that were in my area that come that aren't here to support this, I'll be honest, I'm real glad they weren't here, because some of the people that I love the most are also on the flip side some of the people that caused me the most grief, and I want to blame them for it. Kind of like Kobe was touching on it. Sometimes he tries to get further away, but the power of love doesn't allow him to do that, and that's what this program has taught us. ironically, that this convention is called that We Grow with Love, because that's really, if you look around you, that's all we have is each other, and we're bound by a sense of love for one another. Even though at times we might get on each other's last nerves, and I'm probably I know I'm no different. I found myself, wanting to get kind of away from it all and away from certain people because I needed some time to reflect. And it's funny because I got here and I looked at all the workshops that were available, and one of them that stood out to me was those hard to forgive amends. And I looked at it on my program, and I was like, man, I think that's the one I'm circled, because I had an obligation over here in registration, and that was the one I thought that stood out to me the most, that I needed to hear some input. God is good, because ironically, again, I came up to see who was going to be speaking on it, because I was really looking forward to find out who the messenger was, so I can. But nobody had signed up for it, and then it kind of dawned on me that maybe this was something that I needed to do. I needed to get back out of that comfort zone, get a little bit out of that comfortable level, the comfortable pain that I'm sitting in. And anyway, long story short, I got to actually share some of the things that I was feeling, and that's what this weekend has given me the most. Because when I got here, we were the first ones here, and we saw the guy, a couple of gentlemen from Camp Colby setting up, and I really didn't want to be around some of the people, some of my fellow committee members. So we got down there, and it was refreshing to be welcomed in by a whole group of strangers that I'd never met before. They'd never met me before, and this is my third year coming. I didn't go to Camp Colby. They don't know me. That's Tent City. What the hell am I going to go down there? And now today, I'm looking forward to. One of my list of things to do is I want to get a tent, and I'm going to pitch it. So Colby, you can't run, buddy. We're going to come find you out, because this is a program of attraction. It's not promotion. Nobody called me over there, but something led me into that direction, and I guess that's the God of my understanding. He put me right where I needed to be, right at the time that I was supposed to be there. And Rob, thank you. I don't know if he's still up here. Colby. I love you, man. That's because I can look back and I can think, just 3 short years ago, man, I came down here. I was new. Again, I just wanted to be left alone. I kind of stayed with a couple of people that I was comfortable with. We stayed at our little cabin. We pretty much we cooked out. We fellowshipped. We did the campfire. Didn't go anywhere near no workshops. Saw the main speakers, because that's where everybody else was. But this year now I'm on a committee, helping putting this thing together. Actually got to share at a workshop, and I didn't. Those were some of the last things that were really on my mind when I got here. Now I can look back and reflect that I'm also an attraction to some other people. God only knows why, but I'm starting to kind of figure out who I really am, and it's okay to be me today. That's kind of, I like that this morning's meditation. If you read about it, and that's what it's telling us. We're all right with who we are, even though we might not know it. That's what we got each other for, is to remind us that we're okay today, that it's okay to be just who we are. We don't have to be alone, because you guys aren't, we're not going to let each other stay alone. I'm just grateful to be here. I'm going to look forward to next year, and I hope all of you people are coming. I met a lot of good people today. My network has just grown. I'm just proud to be a part of it. Thanks, Mark. Congratulations. I'm glad you stayed. I'm glad you were here when I got here, because I'm not sure if I would be if you weren't. That's all I got. I'll keep coming back.
I'm an addict. My name is Mike. Hey, Mike. Grateful to be alive and clean, and grateful for the committee at Camp Mac to put this thing together. Another enjoyable weekend. The disease does not take a break, doesn't go on vacation. My disease pestered me this weekend. but I had you guys to help me combat it. Someone earlier said it was a weed thing. It most certainly is. Because if it's not asking me to use or to harm myself or you, it'll go into the compare and despair mode. You got a better tent. You got a better car. You got to spend the weekend with your lady. You can play the guitar. You know, you're witty. You know, I mean, I can get going. My disease will take me there. And, but, you know, because of the program and the fellowship and the love that we grow, I don't have to stay there long. And I could work on building new bonds and relationships and strengthen my own recovery in the process. I came to support somebody that had a couple of hard years. And when she spoke, my heart bled. And it hurt. But that's part of the process too, the healing. I've been coming out for a few years now, and you know, I've tried the yurt and hung out with the people in the yurts. That was nice, and tried the tent thing, and came back to the tent thing to feel part of, and still felt alone a lot of this weekend. My best friend's sitting at home. She's got some spinal injuries, and she's on narcotics, so she chose to walk away from Narcotics Anonymous with 12 years clean, and hitting it kind of hard. It's kind of a hard, harsh reality at times to live with. Someone that you met in the rooms, fell in love with in the rooms, recovered together for a decade or more, and then to see them deteriorate real quickly. Maybe not getting high, but try to stop going to meetings for a week or two, or a month or two, or a year or two. See where your disease takes you. And all I could do is be supportive, and it's a challenge I don't want. I'll tell myself, I didn't sign up for this crap. This ain't the person I married. This ain't the person I fell in love with. And then I came here and I'm alone, you know, in a lot of ways. Because again, the compare and despair thing kicked in. Everybody around me, and Colby, hey, thanks for camping near me, man, because you were by yourself. Your wife was at home too, you know, and Adam and a couple of fellows that were by themselves. So that was nice, but I felt alone. And I didn't even feel like a lot of people even wanted to talk to me. And that's just the low self-esteem issues kicking back in again, you know. All right, I know it's hot, you know, what is it? But you know what, the disease does not always win out, because you guys have taught me to recover, to get back into the solution, to go talk to a newcomer, a newer person than I am, to welcome somebody. I text sponsees, they text me back because I couldn't call anybody for some reason. Matter of fact, speaking of that, I texted my sponsee in Oshkosh, and he was concerned about Gene right away. So I said, you know, what's the status? This morning I got a text back that it was rather severe, but it was caught in time, and it could have been a lot worse. It would have been critical if it hadn't been caught in time. So he will be released today, according to my sponsee Jerry. So yeah, because he's a mainstay. I like that, Mark. This is a home convention, home group convention. That's really cool. Good perspective, and it feels like home when I don't let the disease take away my pleasure in my life. You know, my disease wants me miserable. You know, it prefers that, because possibility is that I'll step out and use, or I'll take my life if I stay stuck. I'm a survivor. I survived the streets for a couple decades, and I've had to survive in here with many relapses. I just celebrated 8 years clean on the 22nd. And that's the longest stretch of clean time I've had in the 18 years I've been involved with Narcotics Anonymous. I didn't do shit. I just kept showing up. You guys and my higher power gave me an opportunity to recover, to enjoy beautiful surroundings. I hope I make it back next year. I hope you guys make it back next year. I love this way of life, man. I've been blessed with 2 lifestyles in one lifetime. And I don't choose to give this one up today, and I choose to be okay with me today. And thank God for you guys and the hugs and the gratitude and the smiles of strangers, and, welcoming me, and we do grow with love. That's all I got.
Always doing. I'm just grateful to be here. This is my first Camp Mac, and through God's grace and His mercy, it won't be my last.
Welcome.
I had a wonderful time. I didn't call back home because I didn't want to hear nothing from home. I just wanted to keep everything peaceful and quiet here. But I really, really enjoyed the experience that I had here. Love the water. I just love the water, but not to go out in it. I just love looking at it. The peace and the serenity that I got here, it was just so awesome. Met a lot of people. A lot of people met me, and I'm a friendly person. I try to be. I thought I was a people person, but I found out that I'm not so much of a people person. But I'm grateful, y'all. I had an awesome time. Even with going out on the canoe. I stayed out there a good 3 minutes, and I told them it was time to turn around and come back, put me back on shore. I don't care too much. I like looking at the water. It was an experience, but grateful for my sponsee, because if it had not been for God putting me in her life and her in my life, I may not would have ever got here, because I never heard of a Camp Mac. As long as I've been knowing Robert, for the 20 years that we came in together, I have never heard him talk about it, so he kept this a secret. But I wasn't supposed to find out from him. I was supposed to find out from my sponsee, and I did. But this is an awesome experience. I done did a whole lot of things. I done been a whole lot of places, but I never have been camping. And my husband tell me that I'm not a camper. A real camper sleeps outside, so I guess I won't never be a real camper because I'm sleeping inside. But it was a nice experience, y'all, and I really enjoyed it, and I really had a lot of fun. And am I ready to go back home? I don't know. I don't know if I'm ready to go back, but I know I got to go back. And it says like back to reality. We was in the fantasy. I was in my fantasy here, and now it's back to reality. So it was all good. Thanks.
I'm Pat, and I'm an addict. I can't help myself. I wasn't going to do this. If you're not aware, time is accelerating. I don't know. I came here. Time. I don't know. Some time ago, Colby and I were here. And one day he's like, dude, I met this guy. Knows the words to every song ever written. What's his name? I don't know. The guy. This is the guy. Like, cool. So we come back the next year. See Colby. He's like, dude, the guy is here. He's here. It's like, cool. I'm like, what's his name? It's the guy. The fucking guy is here. It's gonna be cool. You know, I have a big mouth. And where I come from, people love me or they don't. You know, there's not a lot of in between. And, you know, I don't know. I don't go to as many meetings as I used to go to. You know, first year and a half, meeting every day. You know, and there's a point where you go like, hey, you know, like they used to say in NWI, I didn't get clean to sit in meetings. It's the truth. It's the truth. You know, so I don't go to as many meetings, but I have a home group. I go there. Always. Always. And I'm good for a meeting here and there. You know, and I know a lot of people. And they get me or they don't. You know, but for 4 days, I'm amongst the highest concentration of people that get me than I am the rest of the year. And it's a beautiful thing. And it's enough. It's enough. You know, I mean, I'm an addict. I want to live like this every day. You know, I want every day to be fun, guitars, singing, laughing, Cuban frickin' coffee. And it took me like 36 years to realize that it ain't possible. It ain't possible. You know, I get to do this thing. It's a beautiful thing. I love this convention. It is what convention means to me. I really don't even do a lot of that anymore. I just don't, you know. I mean, I have life. I love the fuck out of my life. I love the fuck out of my life. It tells me what to do. You know, I had no concept of living abstractly, which is what I learned here, which is what the spiritual thing is to me. There was no abstraction. You know, there was, like Mark said, there was woohoo and boohoo. That's all there was, you know. There was no middle ground. There was nothing else. Today I can live abstractly, and I have a life that is this abstract thing which eluded me for a very fucking long time. And I have it, and every day I wake up, and it tells me what to do. Tells me what to do. I don't have to think. I don't have to, it's there. It doesn't make a list, but it's there. I don't have to think. I do it. I put on the suit and I do it, you know. It's beautiful, beautiful thing. You know, and I don't know, you know, it's funny, you know, how you know, somebody was talking about coming into the camp and hugging and feeling welcome, you know. I didn't have that, you know. Here I do now, you know, but, you know, when I came into NA, the last thing in the world that I wanted at that moment was a hug. It was the last thing in the world I wanted, you know. And I'm not everybody. You know, there are people that come in and it's like, oh my God, I came in and people hugged me. And I was like, yeah, I know. Yeah. I would have warned you, but I didn't know, you know. And so, you know, it's very easy for me and the people, you know, to think that my way is the way. But it ain't. It ain't. Everybody got their way. They got their way, you know, and sometimes the best thing I can do for people is to stay out of theirs. To stay out of theirs, and, you know, to try to force, you know, to say my way is the way. And you gotta do it. No, they don't. No, they don't. You know, and one of these phrases that always have bothered me is people say, you don't get this thing by osmosis. I think I did. I think I did. I just kept coming. I just kept coming. I just kept coming. People got clean before there was a book. People got clean before there were workbooks. People got clean before there was Nazism. You know, they got clean. You know, sometimes, you know, and it's hard for me sometimes to leave people the fuck alone. Sometimes, you know, let them do what they are. You know, it's not that I can't find a clever, funny way to say, hey, look, you're about to go over the cliff. But sometimes I gotta let them be. Let them be. They're here. You know, people say, I see you at a lot of meetings. You must be working on 90 and 90. I'm like, I don't know. Just leave me alone. I don't know. You know, there's nothing more beautiful than when I see somebody come to this thing and fall in love with it. they've come and fall in love with it, you know, just like I did. You know, NA, you know, it wasn't like I came in here crawling on my knees, because I came out of a treatment center. I was fat. I was fat and, you know, and had no responsibility, you know. But to come into this thing, you know, the thing for me is I fell in love. I fell in love. I sat down in a chair and I saw some chick standing up on the stage, and she told the fucking truth. And all I had heard for years and years and years was bullshit from everyone around me and my own frickin' mouth. And, you know, all I knew was lies and bullshit. And somehow I reached that, like in the cartoon, you know, when the fucking colors change up to the top of the head, you know. I reached my limit of bullshit. You know, and I just fell in love with the truth, and people trying to tell it in their own way, and it was just beautiful. To me, this thing, it's like the greatest theater, art, music, literature in the world. I mean, the redemption story is the greatest story ever told. It's the greatest frickin' story ever told. You know, when people come back from the dead, there's nothing can compete with that. Nothing. And I love the shit out of this thing. You know, and sometimes I rub people the wrong way, and that's okay. You know, it's okay. You know, and sometimes I gotta apologize to people, and it's okay. You know, I had to learn all this stuff here, because all I knew how to do was run. I knew how to run, and while I was running, sometimes I'd be running backwards, and I'd be saying some shit. And that was cool when I was young and fast. But I ain't no more. Today I just try to walk, try to stroll. You know, you want to come, that's cool. You know, and if you don't, that's cool too. That's cool too. There's people here that broke my heart. And it happens. You know, I can love people today, and that's a beautiful thing. You know, they come, and I don't know, you know, I guess maybe enough times, you know, where you know the best thing I can do for you is leave you the fuck alone. You gotta go do it. There's no fucking way. There is no conversation I know that is possible to talk anybody into this thing. It ain't. You know, all I can do is be like, dude, good luck. Good luck. You know, good luck. I hope the fuck you find whatever the fuck it is you need. You know, if it's this, that's great. If it ain't, that's okay too, you know, but fuck whatever, you know, and I gotta leave them alone, you know, because the only thing I know that ever did anything for me was consequences, you know, which, you know, short of that, you know, you ain't gonna talk me into nothing. You ain't gonna talk me into nothing. I don't know. I love this thing. I love this place. Colby, I love you. A long, crazy trip, dude. You know, I don't know how the fuck I ended up here. Some dudes were going like, hey, we're going to this thing, you know, it's like, what kind of thing, you know, it's like outside and shit. It's like, I don't like outside. It's bright and stuff, bugs, I don't know. But we're going for the day. And I came here, you know, for the day. And somehow we stay the night. It's like, well, they got cabins and shit. It's like, I don't know, $10 or something, you know. I'm like, oh, I got $10, okay. You know, I don't know. Thank you guys for putting this thing on. It's a beautiful, beautiful thing. You know, it's, you know, like I said, I haven't been around the world. I haven't been to, you know, a gazillion conventions. You know, I just really can't stand here and imagine that there could be something better. You know, that, what would it be? You know, fuck, balloons and shit? I don't know, you know. Thanks, that's all I got.
I'm Barbie, I'm an addict. Oh my God.
I just want to say thank you to everyone. It was just a true honor to, I am so relaxed right about now. My peace is just overflowing, you know, and it was just beautiful. I had the best two right here. These two ladies I got a chance to bunk in with. You guys are the bomb. Thank you. It's my first time here, and they just set me up for everything just great. Oh my God. And you know, my husband, I was like, go yourself, because I was thinking it's just guys. I don't want to be around a bunch of guys. He's like, no, come on, it's going to be other people. I'm like, okay. So I was just so glad that he insisted I come, because I'm like, just take the money, just go enjoy yourself, you know. But I'm so glad the water, just everything is God-centered to me here. Everywhere I go, I feel a spirit of peace, you know, and love. Y'all gave me a love shot, you know. That's awesome to me. You know, you made my day. I'll be able to go back and continue to function, and, you know, I'm just so thankful for that. And God just works in mysterious ways, because you was telling me about the step study, because my sponsor is doing an individual with me right now. And I wanted to get with the other people. I'm like, God, I want another step study. Because when you out, I want to live today. I want to stay clean. And I know I got to work. And wherever I can get that work from, they got the work and knowledge, I'm shooting for it. They open that door, I'm at your house. You know, I'm ready to go. You know, I'm just like that. I'm just so grateful today just to be able to have peace. You know, I couldn't sit still at one time. I would have been moving around like a regular crackhead or something. You know, I couldn't sit still, like I gotta go, you know. But today I can sit down and look human, you know. They're like, she's all right. And then, you know, when you're around people that are real, see, I have to be around real people. Fake people, they be like, she's so quiet. It's not that. You fake. And I'm not gonna waste my time, you know, trying to make a connection where I know I cannot connect, because to me, we all are love. You know what I'm saying? Everybody should be treated with respect. Everybody is great. Money doesn't make us great, but love makes us great. You know, and unity here, you know, and the family stuff, you know, I always like, God, I want a family. Y'all are so cool. I mean, everybody I touched today, all throughout the whole time I was here, I feel like I'm just at home. It doesn't feel like a first time. It feels like a love shot. And I'm going to remember this, you know. I took my mind and I said, I'm a computer, you know what I'm saying? I'm going to keep that file inside there. You know, when I get going through something, I'm going to reflect, you know. I got that for a reflection for life, you know. And I'll be back, if God willing, with my husband. And I'm just grateful for this program, because I wasn't able to have a relationship. But now I really love this man, you know. I love him. And he's awesome. And then when I've never seen guys, you know, flow together, because it was always a hookup or something, you know. But when they be going around, I'm like, wow, they're so cool, you know. They Padres just like women are Padres, you know. And I'm like, that means something to me, you know. It means that, because I can be around guys in the fellowship and I feel all right. You know, I just can't be around guys and be all right, because they always have a hookup involved. And I asked them to give me the program, not a hookup. You know, so I'm grateful for all of you. You guys are really so cool, and I'm just grateful to be here with you and to just have had the opportunity to know you. You know, to just get that name. I couldn't remember names before. You know, now I'm like, hey, y'all, you know, I got something going here. You know, and I'm grateful for that. It all, you know, I'm growing. I'm recovering. You know, I couldn't say that before. You know, I don't just want to have clean time, but I want to be in recovery. I want to grow up, you know. I want to be able to function in a society no matter where I go. They'll see the program is working. You know what I'm saying? You will be able to give back, you know, what you've been given. You know what I'm saying? I don't have the silver and gold all the time, but I got a love shot, you know? I'm able to give it to them and keep it real. And we keep it pushing, you know, and we grow together. We keep each other clean through our group thing here. We can't do it by ourselves. And I can reach back and now I can tell another addict, we can do this together. You know, it's a group thing. Let's go, you know? We encourage each other. Thanks for letting me share.
Hi, my name's Megan. I'm an addict. You know, this is my second year up at Camp Mac, and it just feels so amazing, and I don't want it to end, because I didn't know if I was going to make it up here this year, financial reasons, and then I made it up here, and then I got lost and couldn't pick up the phone. Have those hard times, you know. But I did finally pick up the phone, you know, 2 hours later, and I was like, I'm lost, help me. I got here, and as soon as I saw the sign for Milford, I was like, I'm home. This place is just, it's so amazing. It's my second home, and I want to come here every year. I didn't, you know, coming my first year, I only had like I celebrated my 30 days here, and this year I have, you know, over 9 months, and it feels amazing that I'm still here and that I'm still doing what I'm doing. That's why I know something's working, you know. This year I had a lot of things go on in life, because, you know, life does happen. And my mom passed away last September through this addiction. And I made it through clean, and I just, coming up here, really, it helped me let go. Just having that grass and that water and those trees around me and looking up in that blue sky, I could let go of the fact that she's not coming back and that this disease does kill. And if I do go back out, I'm gonna die. And I don't wanna. I wanna live today. Coming here and just having total strangers hug you, it's the best feeling in the world. To hold you close, to see that newcomer, just, it's an amazing feeling inside, and you can't explain it. It just makes my heart pound. The love we have here at Camp Mac. It's just, I feel giddy. I feel like a little kid, and I love it. I love it so much, and this is always going to be in my heart, and I'm always going to remember it, and it's never going to go away. I love life today, you know, and that was possible through coming to NA. They've shown me how to love. You know, they say, we'll love you till you can love yourself, and I love myself today. So thank you, NA. Thank you, everybody.
Blessed addict named Walter. I'm full. This is one of my favorite. I didn't mean to say it. This is my favorite convention. And I'm real grateful to have made it out here another year. I, too, had told my sponsor and my sponsorship family that I could make it. And they said, yeah, well, that was that I. They said, we can, or you can. They put the we in there. That we reminded, you know, and for that. And I'm just grateful today. We grow with love. And I shared this, I think Friday, that, you know, there's so much love here. There, you know, there's, somebody said, Pat said something about, JJ, about the spirituality, something about, you know, and you just get full, you know, you get something that kind of carry you through the year. I was kind of thinking, a lot of you know me as Walter. 20 years ago, nobody knew me as Walter. My first name is Walter, my middle name is Dwayne, and everybody called me Dwayne, or either Wayne. And that Wayne, I be trying to keep down. I be trying to bury, but he keeps, you know. And this program, this convention kind of helps me keep him down, you know, because he's almost like the addiction. They say he don't go anywhere, you know. But this, you know, I pick up some things, some traits around here, the ability to love. And that's somebody. It's just a great word. It's something. Love is awesome. It's something that, you know, we grow with love. Love builds. Love strengthens. Love. You know, I think of all the attributes that we get from love, and you know, today I know with love I can do anything. It's all, you know, and and that's what I get when I come here. DACNA, the rest of the conventions they have not known this has been one of the best, I think, years with weather-wise, where we ain't had one day of rain. And that's truly been a blessing. And I enjoy myself. I get full every time I leave, and if it's God's will, I will be back again.
Is this on? Oh. I'm a truly blessed addict named Steve. Extremely grateful to God for the gift of life today. Also for the gift of my sponsor and sponsorship family. This is my first visit to Camp Mac. And I really hope he blesses me with a few more visits. I'm grateful that my sponsor suggested that I come to Camp Mac. He also suggested that I come up here and say something. This has been a real beautiful experience. It's the first time in a long time that I've actually experienced some real peace and real serenity along with spirituality. He must have been listening when I was complaining about life showing up, on a regular basis, a little too regular, for my liking. This has really helped me. I didn't know that just in a few days that I could actually feel this good about being alive today. I really do hope I can get back here. We were joking out in the parking lot when we were packing up. I was telling them I was going to stay. They could leave me for a few more days. We're talking about how, we were enjoying not having the television and the radio and all the gloom and doom, you get on the news. I didn't have to use my phone, didn't have anybody calling me. It was real good to just get away from all the madness. It's been a real pleasant experience, and I hope to have it many more. Thank you.
Thank you, brother.
Thank my sponsor.
My name is Greg Sam. I'm an addict. As you probably noticed, this ain't my best thing, get up here in front of people. But I need to practice this. This is my second trip to Camp Mac. I was encouraged by my sponsorship family to come with them last year. And I had a lot of fun here. So I plan to come this year. I plan to come back next year. It's very peaceful here for me. And coming out of Detroit, Michigan, anytime I can go someplace and, Detroit is not even in my mind. And I had just thought about, somebody just said, I watch the news every day in Detroit because I want to know what's going on around me. Here I haven't even thought about the news, so this is the type of peace that Camp Mac gives me. And I love Camp Mac. I am very grateful that I got an opportunity to come here. Wish a lot of more people would come and they would, probably feel the same way I do. So I'm just grateful. Thank you.
I'm an addict. My name is Jim. Honesty, open-mindedness, and willingness. With this, we are well on our way. We do recover. We grow with love. What I mean by all of that is that, and there's 100 other places in our literature that you will see the word we. It's all over our literature, and it's the first word in this convention. We grow with love. And why I say that is because that's basically the heart of our recovery. It's not an I thing. I don't do this myself. I never could do this myself, but with all of you, we can do this together. And I've been on this committee since I got clean in 1995, and I keep threatening to walk away, and I don't, and personalities happen, and my personality happens to other people, and we always seem to get through it. But what I'm kind of getting at, is every year, and we all appreciate this that are on the committee, we'll get thanks from various people for doing the things that we do that make this convention come off. And the reality is, and Mark said it the other night when he was up on the stage introducing the speaker, that this convention ain't got that much to do with this committee. We do the easy part. You know, the easy part's doing a little bit of organizing, a little bit of counting of a few dollar bills and getting some shirts together and making it happen, you know, so that it actually happens. We don't make it happen. It's the people of Narcotics Anonymous, all of you that arrive here year after year, the new faces, the Roberts that have been here forever. You know, I love coming here and seeing your face every year, Robert. You know, it's one of the few places I can always count on seeing you. You know, and people come here, and inner city people that are not into being in the woods and can love it here. This place is very special to me, and it's a very special, big part of my recovery, and I'm so happy to see everybody that I see here. Mark, every year. See Mark all the time. I see you lots of other places, but I see you here all the time. Because it's we. We all come here, and we do recover together at We Grow With Love. Thanks for letting me share.
My name's Jen B, and I'm an addict. And this is my first time at We Grow With Love. I've been clean for 7 years, but this is my first time here. I'm more comfortable at conventions in a hotel with a bed, and the bathroom's like 2 seconds away. So this is like kind of different for me, but it's actually my first time camping not in someone's yard. And I also went kayaking for the first time. That was really exciting. Got a little bit too much sun, but man, like I have to say, like I don't even know how to describe like how serene I felt, you know? Like I didn't necessarily think like, okay, I'm gonna go on this convention and it's gonna be my vacation, but like then like I got here and I'm like, this is my vacation. Like I'm on vacation. And not like in a sense where like I just did nothing, but like I'm on vacation from being caught up in my head, and I'm on vacation from overanalyzing, and I'm on vacation from trying to fix, manage, and control, and I just am here. And like honestly, like I haven't felt the need to try to like push my will on anyone since I walked through the gates of Camp Mac, and that's a relief for me because I'm kind of overwhelming for people a lot of times. So I just want to thank everyone for putting this on, and I hope that this is not my last year. It won't be. And I am just grateful to the program of NA for helping me stay clean. That's it.
Thank you.
Sad to say, we have come to the end of the road. But it's not the end of the road on page 84. Just want to thank everybody for coming. Let's circle up and close this convention with the We version.
Take the super mic around here, and I'll record.
I got 20 bucks for you.
Good, ain't you, Cash?
20 come forth and didn't pay. That little pack of purple tennis shoes.
Squeeze it down a little bit.
See, if she was saying I know him, you'd say 2 words in.
Well, I don't know if he was the guy that Brenda was talking about.
Oh, okay. Guy, you in this?
Mark, will you take us out?
Certainly. We have a moment of silence to reflect on Camp Alexander Mac. Prayer.
God, grant us the serenity to accept the things we cannot change, the courage to change the things we can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Just for today.
Keep coming back. Work.
If you live it clean, you die like a dog in the street if you don't.